Welcome back, guys. Today's Friday, July 29th, 2011. I'm hanging out with my friend Susan Lindauer. At this point, she's not even she is a guest, but it's not even like she's an unknown guest. And over the past couple of months, I've forged a friendship with Susan, and I think she's a very remarkable lady for having the courage to stand up and speak truth to power. Look, you know, I saw you, you're running around right after we did the videos with Libya. You were trying to get attention to it. You know, the only people that would really talk to you were RT, because I know Fox News and CNN and the rest of them just completely ignored you.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the corporate media is totally sold out. They don't know what to end is their ass.
No, you're right. They don't know what end is up. They really, it's ridiculous. And to show you how controlled even somewhat of the quote-unquote certain alternative media is, Current, which everybody thinks is cool because they've linked back to my website. They've linked back to, places like Bob Tuskin's website and the Intel Hub and those guys. But you know what? I don't trust Current because it was founded by Al Gore. And if you watch some of the stuff on there, a lot of it still has programming just like Fox News or CNN does. They picked up Keith Olbermann, and if you listen to Keith talk, he's got this free platform now, supposedly. But yet he still doesn't bash Obama. He still plays the left-right paradigm. Even after MSNBC screwed him over, he still plays into the left-right paradigm. And the last week he was trying to connect ClimateGate with this whole Rupert Murdoch scandal, saying that they made up ClimateGate, and this Rupert Murdoch scandal is proof that ClimateGate is false, and that anthropogenic, however you pronounce it, man-made global warming is real. And I was like, are you kidding me? And nobody called him on that because he threw it in a rant with something else about Rupert Murdoch, and everybody was all over Murdoch and Rupert Murdoch. News. But they weren't paying attention to how he just tried to connect that whole ClimateGate thing to the Rupert Murdoch scandal. And it's atrocious because of course I know as soon as I found out he was going to Current, I said on my previous shows, he is not going to – it's going to be nothing different than when he was on MSNBC because, Al Gore is a huge shareholder and he's one of the founders of Current. So don't expect anything real from Keith Olbermann. But people still run to that. It amazes me, Susan.
Well, I gotta tell you that they're sheeple. I call them sheeple, and they don't know what the heck's going on, and it's like group think. They all repeat the same idiocy without having any depth of understanding of what it was. I remember going on RT, and they asked me, they were all saying everybody had decided that on that day Gaddafi was about to resign, for example. And I said, are you kidding me? That's never going to happen in a million years. No, you're totally wrong. And I threw them. They didn't know how to respond, because they were expecting a scripted response, which is we all agree and we all kind of say the same things. And then they had a guest who didn't go with the program. And for a minute, the host was like, I don't know what to do. Where are my cue cards?
See, even Russia today is the same way. Even Russia today is the same way as
that's what I mean. RT, sorry.
No. RT is most people know what RT is. I just say Russia Today, but you're right.
Okay.
Our RT it's to a certain extent, even their
they're wonderful, though. They're great.
They're awesome because they do put the spotlight on a lot of stuff. And a lot of people say, well, what are their motives? Well, you can question their motives, yes, but at least that they have guests on that the mainstream media attacks them for, actually. I mean, when you see them getting attacked for the people that they have on, and the mainstream media's only tactic is to call names. I don't particularly like the guests that the mainstream media has on. I think they're all paid scumbags. I know more than half of them are. But am I supposed to I don't say to you, I don't go on CNN, I don't go on air constantly and start to badger CNN for the guests they have. Rather, I just expose the guest for the loser that it is. So if you wanna badger somebody, go after the guest. Try to expose Susan. I dare anybody to try to find something that Susan will gladly go on
now
your
listen,
show.
I'll tell you something. Don't dare them because
no, I take that back. I take that back.
Yeah, I've already had my share of crap. But I'll tell you something, that the whole groupthink mentality is how is why we don't know about 9/11. Or why you guys don't know about 9/11. The fact that you never knew about the warnings about 9/11, you never knew about the Iraqi peace option, you never knew about the special stuff on anti-terrorism that we could have had that we didn't get. And it's because of the corporate media.
That's where the media is responsible, Susan. Look what they did to you. They vilify you, okay? Oh, she's crazy, this, that, the other thing. Look, same thing they do. Look, I hate to even bring this woman's name up, but Casey Anthony, perfect point. She was found guilty in the court of public opinion before she was ever found innocent or guilty in a court of law. And that's why people had such a horrible reaction to the whole thing. And people were like, oh, my God, she was found innocent. We can't believe it. Of course people were so flustered about it because the media had pumped them up so much that she was guilty. They just assumed that, they had all the facts. When you come to find out the prosecution was lying and everything else. So it's the same thing with Iraq. They pumped up Iraq. I remember the invasion of Iraq. We gotta get Saddam, Susan. We gotta get him.
Yeah, countdown to Saddam.
Oh my God!
Countdown to Iraq. Showdown with Saddam. Yes.
In the corner with the they had the little timer in the corner, and it was like 3 days, 4 hours, and 72 minutes. Tick, or 52 minutes. There's not 72 minutes. Listen.
Yes.
And it was just ticking down, and they were building up this BS anxiety, like, oh my God, we got to get Saddam. He helped.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it was total crap. And then it turns out, well, and I'll tell you something that I find unforgivable that the corporate media did. And this is regarding my story particularly. The corporate media had rushed Congress and pushed Congress into this ratings extravaganza because they all thought, oh, war, everybody's going to be watching us on television. Ooh, we got to be there. Oh, this is going to be so exciting, and it'll be a fast war, and then, ooh, it'll be over, and we'll get like a couple of months of good coverage, and our ratings will go up. And so they pushed Congress to do this, and then when the war went badly, the media covered up for the lies that Congress had told the people. And so the media did an end run around the democracy quotient and stopped acting as watchdogs for the people and screwed everybody by covering for the politicians because the politicians had served the media's agenda as well. And so, you had the media deliberately protecting the politicians so that they would be safeguarded from the exposure of their corruption and their deceit of the American people. Because I will tell you something, and this just, you'll see this in my book, Extreme Prejudice. Not only did we have the peace option, but I bloody well made sure everybody on Capitol Hill knew about it. And they had the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, for example, had the peace option 9 months before the invasion of Iraq. They had it the invasion of Iraq was in March of 2003. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee being Joe Biden, remember, and Richard Lugar and Chuck Hagel. They had that peace option by July of 2002.
Yeah, all these guys knew. It's not.
They all knew that they could have this stuff.
Around knowing he's got the blood of millions of Iraqis, thousands of Americans on his hands. Okay, those people are evil. They knew.
Yes.
Susan. They knew. There's no other way to put it. They're scumbags, and they knew. And look, they're using the same type of fear propaganda with this debt ceiling. Remember, during the break we were discussing this. Look at the crap that they're putting. Oh my God, the sky is gonna fall if we can't borrow any
now
more
listen.
money.
I think that what has to happen is I think that there has to be action. And I think that it takes a crisis, tragically, stupidly, it takes a crisis for Congress to do anything these days.
We need to stop.
But we have some
wars.
And right now,
end them.
Stop the wars. End it. Bring our soldiers home.
Today. Bring my brothers and sisters home.
That's
Take
right.
care of them the way they're supposed to be taken care of. Don't you dare screw any veterans. Because I will
That's
go out and
right.
start tapping people with a baseball bat.
That's
I'll start taking
right.
kneecaps out.
That's right.
Jersey
You don't
style,
send people out
okay?
to fight and then say you're not going to give them medical benefits when they come back with wounds.
That's why this government sucks. Like George Washington said, you can judge a country by the way it takes care of its veterans. We're going to break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.